Hello friends, and welcome back to the channel. In the Book of Boba Fett, we got to see the beginning of the construction of Luke Skywalker's Jedi Academy, as well as his training with the young Grogu. Although brief, the time period is extremely significant to Star Wars lore, and we got treated to one of the greatest meetings in all of Star Wars history. We made a video a while back exactly why this is so significant, and having to see Ahsoka and Luke finally meet on screen. However, one question we did want to pose was, why didn't Ahsoka stay with Luke to help rebuild the Jedi Order? Besides the obvious, which is her mission to find Grand Admiral Thrawn, is there perhaps a deeper reason relating to the Jedi as a whole that is deterring Ahsoka from rejoining? Well, today, friends and acolytes, let's assess the character of Ahsoka Tano, the current state of the Jedi, and address why she decided not to stay and help Luke. To start off, we should talk about Ahsoka Tano as a character and her mindset during the time we see her in The Mandalorian as well as the Book of Boba Fett. This is post-Return of the Jedi, and the Empire has officially fallen. Vader is redeemed, and seemingly a time of regrowth for the galaxy has begun. Ahsoka has already denounced herself as a Jedi nearly 2 decades ago, and has not claimed that title for a very long time now. Interestingly enough though, the episode in which we see her in The Mandalorian Season 2 is titled The Jedi. Not only this, but Bo-Katan also references Ahsoka Tano as a Jedi. I don't believe that Bo-Katan would have made a mistake, as she was present during the time that Ahsoka was not in fact with the Jedi or affiliated with them, so she would have known that Ahsoka had officially left the Order at the time. This means that Ahsoka has reclaimed her title as a Jedi by the time of Return of the Jedi. But this only accentuates the question we posed at the beginning even further. We know that Ahsoka cares for the Jedi Order, but not what they were. She cared for and aided Kanan Jarrus and Ezra Bridger during their training, and after hearing about Luke Skywalker, I'm sure she knew that the Jedi had now begun to rebuild in a better era, and in a new era, the way that they had been before the time of Coruscant. To explain this a little bit further though, we have to go even farther back in the timeline. You see, the way the Jedi Order operated before Exar Kun came to power and before the era of the new Sith Wars was very different than how it was made up during Coruscant. The Jedi Order was actually largely a completely different entity. When the Jedi Order was set up on Ossus, and after the First Great Schism, the Jedi built a very grand temple and library indeed, and this was the place that the younglings were trained, and many Jedi resided. However, it was nowhere near as closed off and secluded as the modern Jedi temple was on Coruscant, as the Jedi themselves were not as closed off. The Temple of Ossus was a library that was open to the public, not just the Jedi, and anyone could come in regardless of their status of Force sensitivity. They did this so that the common people of the galaxy could learn and contribute, and even add to the grand archive of knowledge. The Jedi themselves did watch after the temple, but the way that the Jedi operated was a lot more hands-off. Many Jedi Masters and their apprentices, or maybe just one Jedi Knight, would usually go out and set up their home on a different system entirely, completely separate from the world of Ossus, rarely if ever returning to the Jedi Temple at all once they departed, as they had found a new home that they needed to protect. From there, they would study the Force, live their lives, and protect the system and surrounding systems they chose. The Jedi acted as true guardians and sentinels, casting their net of influence wide over the galaxy, and if the Jedi Knights didn't set up in one place, then they would choose to travel around as nomadic protectors, helping anybody who asked help from them. Less of a singular coalition of Jedi and viewing them as an army, and more of a religious group as the Jedi Order was initially intended. But how exactly does this all relate to Ahsoka? Well, I'm sure you can see the similarities of these Jedi and how Ahsoka Tano now operates. She reclaimed her title as a Jedi, as the title no longer held any stigma to the citizens of the galaxy now that the propaganda of the Empire was disproven by Luke. Many of you that are familiar with Luke Skywalker's story post-Return of the Jedi and the Jedi Academy that he established, this will make a lot of sense to you, as Luke followed the same approach that the Jedi of old had on Ossus, and more of a hands-off guidance of the galaxy. Luke encouraged many of his Jedi to have families, children, and live outside of the Order. One of his Jedi was a queen in another system, and she retained both her status as a knight and one of royalty. When her training was done and she was promoted to Jedi Knight, she returned to her home planet and ruled with wisdom and guidance through the Force. This is likely what will also happen in canon, but now we get to why Ahsoka is hesitant to be a part of this new Jedi Order that Luke is establishing, even if it's like the older one on Ossus. I think it can be easily stated that there has has to be a small fear factor in Ahsoka Tano and her decision not to join Luke. While she is eager to find Thrawn and perhaps Ezra by proxy, she may be trying to avoid getting involved with the reconstruction of a fully formed Jedi Order, after of course she saw the downfall of the previous Order and the previous temple. Ultimately though, we know that she would be correct, as Luke Skywalker's temple did fall, and another purge of the Jedi would happen at the hands of Kylo Ren. But perhaps if Ahsoka were to stay, things may have been different. Under her wise view of the light side of the Force and her status as a true Jedi, Ahsoka could have been there as a teacher and advisor to Luke that he never had, and he would not have let this fear consume him. But to answer the question, Ahsoka Tano very much is a Jedi. Dave Filoni in a recent interview even confirmed as much, stating that Ahsoka does consider herself to be a Jedi now, and past the events of Return of the Jedi, she does believe herself to be a good Jedi and a fully formed one. However, just because Ahsoka Tano is a Jedi now, does not mean she is a Jedi of the previous generation of the Order that we saw. She is a Jedi that is separate and harkens back to the ideologies of the Jedi of old, a nomadic protector and guardian of the galaxy. Ahsoka Tano doesn't even need to align herself with a greater, wider Jedi Order in order to consider herself a Jedi at all, or to fulfill her duties as one, as Ahsoka Tano is one of the truest and greatest Jedi that we've ever seen in canon, and she's smart enough to see that the Jedi Order needed to change, and although she refuses to be a part of the new one, as she does not believe this is her role, she still assumes her role as a Jedi, and as a protector of peace and justice throughout the stars. But anyway, my friends, I hope this answered your question, and I hope this makes sense as to why Ahsoka Tano did not want to rejoin Luke Skywalker's Jedi Order. Perhaps she still holds some fear within her heart, but also she believes that her path as a Jedi is not one as a overarching teacher. That is the path of Luke. But anyway, my friends, what are your thoughts on this? And do you believe that this is an accurate representation of Ahsoka Tano and her relationship with the Order? As always, my friends, thank you guys so much for watching the channel. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.